When people think of weddings in Vietnam, they often imagine traditional family ceremonies and wedding customs. But not every wedding looks the same. This wedding began inside a Protestant church. And after spending the day here, I became curious about how the celebration would unfold. Long before the ceremony begins, people start arriving at the church. Friends, relatives, and members of the congregation gradually fill the grounds. Some greet each other outside. Others head directly indoors to find their seats. Unlike many wedding venues, the church already feels prepared long before the guests arrive. The building itself becomes part of the ceremony. As more guests arrive, the atmosphere begins to change. People settle into their seats. Conversations become quieter. Everyone seems to understand that something important is about to begin. The wedding has not started yet. But anticipation is already building throughout the room. Eventually, the ceremony begins. The focus shifts toward the front of the church. Family members, friends, and guests all turn their attention in the same direction. What immediately stands out is how structured everything feels. Each part of the service follows a clear sequence. And the church setting gives the ceremony a distinct atmosphere. Throughout the ceremony, music plays an important role. Readings, prayers, and messages help guide the service from one moment to the next. Rather than focusing on a single event, the ceremony gradually builds through a series of smaller moments. Each part contributes to the meaning of the day. Together they create a shared experience for everyone present. While most attention is directed toward the front of the church, I found myself looking around the room. Parents, grandparents, relatives, and friends sit side by side. Like many weddings, this event is not only about two people. It is also about bringing together entire families and communities. The church simply provides a different setting for that gathering. As the ceremony continues, the focus remains on commitment and community. Everyone inside the church becomes part of the same moment. Even those who are simply observing contribute to the atmosphere of the day. Eventually, the ceremony comes to an end. And the formality begins to fade away. Guests start moving around again. Photographs begin. Conversations return to the church grounds. The ceremony may be over, but the wedding day is far from finished. Outside the church, people gather for photos and congratulations. Family members reconnect. Friends catch up with one another. The atmosphere becomes noticeably more relaxed. Soon the celebration continues at the reception. The setting changes completely. But the purpose remains the same. People eat together, talk together, and share stories with relatives and friends. In many ways, this is where the social side of the wedding becomes most visible. Tables fill with conversations. Guests move from group to group. Some people spend more time talking than eating. Others use the opportunity to reconnect with relatives they rarely see. The church ceremony and the reception may feel very different. Yet both serve the same purpose. Bringing people together. Before attending this wedding, I expected to see a ceremony inside a church. And of course, I did. But what stood out most was something familiar. Families gathering. Friends reconnecting. And a community coming together to celebrate an important moment. The traditions may be different, but the reasons people gather remain remarkably similar. And perhaps that is what weddings are really about.